Hey guys! Excuse the mess. Welcome to another vlog. My name's Guitar, and if you haven't noticed by now, I like future funk. Big time. Favorite genre. Future funk is a subgenre of the music genre called vaporwave, which is based on samples of 80s songs, mostly, slowing them down for the most part, but generally making them into something that reminds you of your childhood, you know, like you're basically like floating in the past, which is nothing new. People have done things like this for centuries, and if you want to know more about that, just look up ukiyo-e. That's gonna give you more information on that. So what does come with vaporwave is the aesthetic design, which is written like this. And what this consists of is like 80s grids floating around on the ground and like Neon City Arts, that's a name. I can show you some pictures here just so you get a general idea. You probably have seen one of those before, but recently I was wondering, can you do aesthetic videography? So that is what I'm gonna be trying today. I'm gonna do a vlog today because our spring break starts today, and we're gonna head off to the airport in a couple of minutes. So yeah, let's go and tell you something about aesthetic videography. Can you do it? What does it consist of? And is it a good idea to do this? Let's find out. One thing that was always done in the past, when people still had those camcorders and not those mirrorless cameras we have today, is that primes weren't in yet. Primes for video just were not practical. They had zooms, huge zooms with power zoom. So in aesthetic videography, we can benefit from having a power zoom lens, like I have on my camera right now. It only goes from 16 to 50. The more zoom you have, the better. Doesn't have to be a fast lens, but generally you want zoom. You can zoom all the way to 50 millimeters on APS-C, which would be a 75 millimeter equivalent, and then zoom out again, just like this. Oh, and one thing you can do is, if you want a slower zoom, shoot slow motion. But maybe if your power zoom's like jerky, like with this lens, you might have to stabilize it in post, if that works. We're gonna see if it works. So the second thing is, take your time. Earlier, people weren't used to fast cutting and stuff like that. They needed some time to look at the shots the people took. So take your time. Let the shots be at least 2 seconds long, maybe at minimum 1 second long, but 2 to 4 seconds long is pretty good in aesthetic videography. And number 3, shoot in 30 or 25 frames per second. What? A filmmaker is telling you to shoot in 30 or 25 frames a second. Yes, I know, that's crazy, but in aesthetic videography, you want that kind of videoistic look. It doesn't have to be cinematic, like in a cinema, obviously, but it should be like when everybody was still watching TV and they were not in the cinema. And therefore, you should use 30 if you're in the US, or 25 if you're in the PAL region. And there you might as well just use 24 like I do, but 25 is pretty good. I'm not switching because I'm in NTSC mode to shoot 24, but it's not as important as you think. Frame rate is not the most important thing. Rather, your shutter angle is more important. Tip number 4, use a longer focal length. Back in the day, people didn't have those ultra-wide lenses. Maybe they didn't even have a 24 on their camcorder, but like a 35 to 600 on such a small sensor. Of course, that would be the equivalent of that, full frame equivalent we're talking here. But in my case, again, this wouldn't really be practical because I've only got this lens on my camera, which is autofocus and stabilization. I've also got it on this camera. On this one I got it as well. In order to shoot on longer focal lengths, I would have to lug around this big old thing right here, which doesn't have image stabilization and isn't the sharpest lens either, which the second thing of that would not be a bad thing. The lack of image stabilization is, though. That's times where the A6500 would have been good. Bit too expensive though. So shoot on longer focal lengths. In my case, 50 is the maximum. If I get out the A5100, which I got clear image zoom on, that would be 100mm because of the 2 times clear image zoom. But yeah, let's shoot some more. Didn't notice that. That's cream. Gonna try this now. But I'm skeptical. But gotta have some coffee, right? So just scrolling through their catalog. And right here. You see it? That's got a camera in it. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. I wonder how good that is though. Welcome to Gran Canaria. So there we are. This doesn't look as interesting as it actually is, probably, at least. But maybe this does, or maybe this does. Let's find our baggage. It's again same problem as in the last travel I did. So yeah, let's get there. Okay, number 34. Let's get there and hope they didn't burn my gear this time. Actually, it's this way. Yeah, you can see that I'm a pro. I think at least it's this way, not this way. That's where I was going. So yeah, I'm a total pro in terms of traveling. We arrived at this small hotel in the mountains, and it's pretty late right now, and you probably can't see this, but it is not that warm actually. It's pretty cold up here. It's like what's that in Fahrenheit? 50 degrees Fahrenheit? About that, so not warm at all, but I'm still wearing my t-shirt because of course we got a room I should call it, because that's what the rooms consist of. So it's a bit of a different hotel than normal, but very cool actually. You see we got orange trees here and stuff like that. But yeah, tomorrow we're gonna continue and probably take you to a pretty aesthetic place. I know I said that word pretty often in this vlog, but yeah, let's see you there. Next day, so we're in Puerto Mogan, which is like a place that's very touristic. As you can see, it's a beach here with flooded by tourists. There's also some pretty big hyper-consumerism here, which is like ideal for aesthetic videography. So let's shoot some B-roll in here and really see what we can get out of this, because this is basically what vaporwave and aesthetic things are about. So yeah, let's do it. conclusion, what is it really all about with aesthetic videography? Well, not an awful lot actually. Let me get this chair. It's not really an awful lot. I mean, the cinematography really is not that different from like cinematic videography. You just have to film a lot more like TV cameramen do. I mean, think about it. They have power zoom lenses as well, and they have it really close to their fingers, so they're more tempted to zoom all the way zoom. Oh, this chair's wet. Where the magic really happens is in post, because that's where you add glitches and get rid of your dynamic range, make it look a lot more like an old camcorder. And in this case I opted for not choosing a VHS effect, not like a proper real one which diminishes the quality. I felt more like retaining quality would be a better thing, because it's not real aesthetic, is it? It's more modern, but I just felt like doing that would be the right thing. I think this kind of videography is just not a thing yet, I think. And if it's ever gonna become a thing, yeah, it's gonna develop more. And I was maybe one of the first ones that did it. Maybe I was not. But really, that's it. So tell me in the comments what you think about this. Have I done this well, or did it suck? Do you like the aesthetic videography, or are you more a fan of the cinematic videography? I don't know. Personally, I like both, but yeah. People have different tastes, so yeah, I think that's it. I'm curious about what you think about it. Tell me down below, give me a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time. Peace out!